Okie dokie. Hey everyone, welcome to the TLZ Report Podcast. Since this is our first podcast, I thought we'd just go around, kind of introduce ourselves. So,
I'll start. I'm Luke, amateur Muay Thai fighter. Favorite fighter, Dominic Cruz.
Hell yeah.
My name is Zach, amateur boxer. It was Khabib, but he's gone. And it was DC, but he's gone. So I guess Holloway is sliding.
Yeah, respectable.
All right, my name's Timothy. I'm an amateur Muay Thai fighter, kickboxer, but not very good at that. And my favorite fighter is Max Holloway.
Yeah, my man.
So, UFC 262.
Hot damn.
Absolute bangers.
Absolute
I'm still got
banger
jitters,
on the card.
man.
We just finished watching it like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, if
not
that.
even.
So my heart's still pumping.
Yeah. Let's start at the top. By the top. Most interesting fight.
Prelim.
Yeah, Jacare.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So Jacare, pour one out, continues the middleweight trend of getting bones broken in the.
Yeah, that is just first Weidman, now him.
Yeah, you hate
You
to
do
see
not want to
it.
see
Dude, that snap haunts me. It was
I know.
it was a stick.
I know.
It really was. It was like he was in the forest.
So we're watching the fight, and Luke's like, "Oh my god, I hope they don't replay it." And immediately like, "Let's do it with audio this time."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
And he just didn't even care, though.
Yeah.
He
Like,
just
just
up. He just
snap.
does not care.
Yeah, I respect the man for sure.
Like he just looked on him like, I would keep going. Let me go. It's
Yeah.
fine. It's just a broken arm. Happens all the time.
They talked about how he tucked his broken arm into his gi in a grappling tournament.
Against one of the Gracies, too.
Yeah,
So it's not like
so-
that was against a nobody.
We saw a lot of toughness tonight for sure.
For sure. What do you guys think is next for Jacare?
Retirement.
Bellator?
That's true. Bellator is calling.
6 steel plates in his arm and retirement is what's next for
Yeah.
him.
Well, because he's lost this one. He lost to Holland.
And then he lost a light heavyweight fight, didn't he, too?
He only fought once in 2020. That was a loss to Holland. The fight before that, lost to Jan Blachowicz.
Oh, yeah. I
Before
remember.
that, lost to Jack Hermanson.
Yeah, that's one of those things. Where,
So his last win was against Weidman in 2018.
Yikes.
And then before that, he lost to Gastelum.
which that Weidman fight is a really good fight, but
Oh,
yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
That Weidman fight really pissed me off watching it because I remember Weidman is winning that fight up until all of a sudden Jacare clips him and it's just fight's over. It's like you can do everything right and then just get clipped
Just
and
get
it
hit
doesn't
once.
matter.
And that's it. That's all she wrote.
Yeah.
all right, let's talk about the Shane Burgos Edson Barboza fight.
Yes.
Oh,
That was a banger. There
That was
a
a
lot of
great
bangers on
fight.
this card, but that was a banger.
absolutely
Fantastic.
killer fight. Before we get to the knockout, Edson Barboza fucked up his leg in the second round and it got like cut open and was bleeding everywhere.
It was
crazy.
bleeding pretty bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think Shane like checked a quick kick or something.
Yeah.
And then it was just blood pouring out.
I noticed like his corner did a pretty because like it was bleeding pretty profusely at the end,
Yeah.
and then when he got to the corner, when he came out, it was not noticeably as bad. So I don't know if they just like Vaseline the hell out of it or
Like the old
what.
Vaseline trick, yeah.
Maybe he's got a kind of hairy leg, just
Just comb it in.
Over and over.
make a little comb.
That's right.
The Greek in me respects that.
Absolutely. That knockout was crazy. It was like delayed by 5-10 seconds.
Yeah, it was like Shane Burgos is a tough fucking guy.
Jesus Christ, he threw everything but the kitchen sink at him.
Like
in that
he
fight.
ate that spinning wheel kick.
Dude, like
And,
it just
he was
like
fine.
immediately like hit it because he had his arm down for a bit, but the second it came up, it was just like giant bruised red
Yeah.
He got
blotch.
hit to the body with a couple of them. Then he took that one to the
Yeah,
face
to the face.
as well.
And then
Yeah,
his
he
leg
did
in the
not
first like 30 seconds was just getting shipped. Barbosa's so fast.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
so fast.
His hand speed is like insane.
His switch kick is actually like it's the fastest I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Just his technique is all perfect.
I wonder what's like holding him back from just like really taking off though. Like, is it just chin, his cardio?
I don't know.
It's like
maybe, you know what? Because he fought at 155 for so long,
Yeah.
maybe that was just the wrong weight class for him. He's a killer at 45.
He looks shredded.
Yeah, that's true. He was just huge. I'd also like to apologize to Shane Burgos for those memes I made.
It was a big night for memes.
It was a good, we were on point tonight. But,
starting out the podcast strong with
The memes.
It was just right there.
What we really need to do to like blow the podcast up and get big Twitter presence is to start some controversy. So we gotta like post racial slurs on like Tyron Woodley's posts. Really get some hate.
Okay, so fuck Shane Burgos. I'd do it again.
You know
Just
what?
get people pissed at us.
That's right.
Time.
I don't regret it. Yeah, I mean, Shane Burgos, fucking insanely tough. He was ripping body shots for the first 2 rounds.
I think that fight is a prime example of when you're a mind stuffer than your body.
Yeah.
And because that KO is just like, he's like, I'm good. Why am I falling over?
Well, I'm curious, like, if he does, like, a post-fight interview and stuff, or, like, the pressers and stuff, like, what that was for him. Like, was it just kind of, like, legitimately when you stand up too fast, you get kind of dizzy? Like, did he just be like, I'm fine?
Well, from the replay, what I noticed was that, like, his eyes aren't really focused on Barbosa. Like, they're kind of looking, and then you see he just... Like,
and then they just get so
They're there for like the start of it, and then they start to just drift off a little bit.
Which makes me wonder, I hope it's not like a more serious kind of injury or something.
Yeah,
like
for
that.
sure. Hopefully he's healthy.
He did get hit a lot in the head. And
just his body.
Edson Barboza isn't exactly a hands guy, but I don't imagine he hits soft.
No, I wouldn't imagine so.
Just so speedy.
Again, some sick spinning back kicks by Barbosa. Every fight he seems to pull them out and land them.
Yeah.
That fight against Dan Hooker, he did that. He finished him with one.
Brutal.
Edson Barboza has like some of the craziest KOs.
Yeah,
Like
for sure.
KOs and just breaking you down.
Name a boring Edson Barbosa fight.
Yeah.
Well, the crazy thing is, like, go him in featherweight now. Like, featherweight's already got so much good competition.
Yeah.
So,
Stacked. I have no idea who's next for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Because he lost to Ige, right?
yes.
Yes.
Okay,
that
so-
was a close fight. Though.
Yeah, if memory serves, I thought he won it when we watched it initially, but I'd have to go
Him
back.
versus like Josh Emmett or Calvin Cater or something.
Ooh, him and Cater. I like him and
That's a good
because he's
fight.
not putting Cater down.
There's a man alive that can do that.
If 1,200 punches from Max Holloway didn't do it.
Yeah, not putting him down with a body shot, because good lord. Yeah, but him versus Cater would be good.
That'd be sick, yeah.
Or him versus Josh Emmett. I think that'd be a good fight too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just sling it, rip it, and sling it.
Yeah, I mean, 45 is just like I want to say it's definitely in the top 2 stacked divisions. Like it's up there.
I don't know what I'd put above it right now.
Lightweight and welterweight are pretty good.
55.
Lightweight, I feel like is kind of divvied out though.
Stacked.
It's still stacked for sure, but it's like a lot of the guys who are still in the top have been around for a while, so we've seen a lot of those fights, so it's not as intriguing.
Yeah.
Whereas you've got obviously like Holloway, Ortega, Volkanovski now, Ige, Barbo, like you've just got a lot of people who haven't gone against each other yet.
On the flip side of that, though, like a lot of those fights, I would love to see again. I would love to see Dustin versus Justin again.
Absolutely.
Because the first one's so good. You have Connor versus any of those guys. This is a good
Sure,
fight.
yeah.
If he ever fights again, if he loses on the
Yeah, if Dustin beats him, he might just go back to boxing or something.
You know what fight will never happen, but I would love to see? Paul Felder versus Conor McGregor. It'd be such a sick
Why is
fight.
that the fight?
It'd be such a sick fight. Paul Felder's so tough. You can have the Irish versus the Irish thing going. Great fight. Beautiful promoting.
For the memes, it would be fun.
the memes,
I do
huge.
not feel that Paul Felder would do too well.
I just want Paul Felder to go down to 145. I think honestly that's a smart move for
Big
him.
guy, though.
I think it's too big.
Because then when him and Barbosa fought, or Barboza, they were like more or less the same size, and Barboza
That's
cut
true.
down. And think about how quickly or like short term he took that fight when he was training for the
Yeah, he just looked like his power is good for it. I don't know if it's too much of a size issue.
But that's the thing though. Like against Hooker, like he was landing stuff, and it just wasn't like it was affecting him obviously because it's Paul Felder. But it wasn't like
serves. Wasn't that fight like insanely close?
It seems like Paul Felder fights are always like on a razor's edge.
It's always because, like, at least from what I think, he like is always right there skill wise, but he never does enough damage, and then whoever he's fighting accumulatively gets more damage. So to me, if he goes down to 145 and can do that and stay healthy and keep that power and speed, well, then he's probably going to start hurting dudes, right?
I mean, it's something for him to consider, but I mean, I don't really know what he walks at either.
Yeah, and I know he is like tail end of his career.
Yeah.
Like he himself has said that, so maybe he...
Yeah, but I mean, Jose Aldo moved down tail end of his career, and look how well that's worked for him.
True.
Yeah, he's looked good there.
Yeah.
Lost to Jan, but... And Marlon, kind of.
Marlon, big air quotes on that. Yeah.
This women's fight that happened.
So Caitlyn Chikugen remains the queen of decisions. She has never won a fight by anything but decision.
I just want to say the judging in that fight, I don't know what they were on. The whole, the 30-27 was maybe a little bold.
Yeah. Judging tonight was really fucked up. What was that earlier prelim fight we were watching? The Mike Grundy and Lando Venata?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, geez.
That judge was like, 30-27 for Grundy?
Yeah.
Are you insane?
Well, so, like, the first fight is a debate. You could have it to go to either guys, and I think it's fair for the first round. 2 is pretty clearly Venata.
And then
but 3, I'm like, how? Like, Venata, like, picked him up and, like, threw him down and
Stopped, like, all of his takedowns.
Yeah, was just putting a, like, truck through his face.
Yeah.
Like, what? How?
Yeah, ridiculous.
There wasn't really, there's not really a whole lot to say about.
Yeah, no, not until we get to the news section.
I'll be 100% honest. I was making memes during this fight, and
the lady she was fighting, I can't really pronounce her name, Vivian.
Yeah.
She looks good. She just kind of gassed out a little bit there.
I don't even know what you do with this fight because it's like, does Caitlyn Chikugen go and fight Valentina Shevchenko and get railed again? Because that's exactly what's going to happen after watching that fight. I wasn't like, oh my god, she's improved so much.
yeah.
So
That is kind of the problem with that division. It's those women's bigger divisions where it's like, yay, let's send them
There's
to
just such a
amazing
skill gap.
areas.
Yeah, it's huge.
yeah.
And then we had Matthew Schneill.
Yeah. That was a good fight.
Yeah. This Boron dude.
Yeah.
That was a good fight. That was a really good technical fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I was kind of either way on the decision. I was a little surprised that Rogerio won.
I'd say definitely with the third round for sure. Like it was a close 2 rounds, and then the third round he had him in a bad place.
Yeah, definitely not a bad decision. Kind of could have gone either way. Great fight though, fun to watch.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Very technical.
35, right?
That's kind of a bad indicator for Schnell though, because like this is the weight class he's supposed to be at, right? And then Von Torn or whatever like took this on short notice and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, you gassed out and kind of got bunced at the end by a
Definitely
dude.
doesn't look good.
And
doughy.
he was only overweight by a pound.
And for
So-
short notice and you miss by a pound, like I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, but it's not like he had a huge weight advantage
Yeah,
to him, so you can't really be like, oh, he missed like it was a pound. So
Yeah.
To be honest, I'm not too familiar with either of these guys.
No,
me
So
neither.
Maybe this guy is just that good.
Yeah.
For all I know.
Well, apparently, I think they were saying he ballooned up to like 165 after his
Yeah, I
last
know.
fight. And
I mean, he's he was 17-3, so he's 18-3 now. So
Fair.
That's pretty
got a
fucking
good
good.
I mean, both those guys were just so big. My goodness.
Christ.
Like, we thought they were 45s, maybe 55s, when just
Yeah,
looking
yeah.
at them, then it was like 130. What?
that one guy's Rodrigo's like quads are like
Yeah. He was a beefy gentleman.
turkey drumsticks.
You could tell
on
that
this
he was
guy.
coming in out of camp.
Yeah.
There was a little beef on him.
He was having some good suppers at home.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was eating a lot. Speak up, I'll take another Starburst.
Even Schnell was just like so tall. Like, I was like, okay, well, he looks big, but maybe he's kind of short. And then he walked next to Bruce Buffer. I was like, no, he's big. Like, how? How are you
Yeah, he's a
135
tall guy.
pounds? Even for a moment to weigh in.
Yeah. Yeah, it was crazy. I hope, maybe, man, I keep fucking up his name, Rogerio here. I hope he fights
Montori?
Marlon Moraes. That would sweet. And that probably is what happens, because didn't Marlon get knocked the fuck out in his last fight?
That's the thing. When was the last time Marlon fought?
He fought Sanhagen, right? Got a spinning wheel kicked. Was that
Oh,
one?
yeah.
That was a nice KO. Sanhagen.
That feels like it was a while ago.
I think it was. I mean, if you got spinning wheel kick KO'd, I would be out for a while.
Fair
too.
enough.
Makes a lot of sense.
No, man. Next day, back in the gym, hard sparring.
That's right.
Didn't he have a fight booked, Marlon?
I don't think so.
Man, I don't remember.
Maybe I'm just going crazy.
You know, spinning wheel kick's not a fun one to get caught by.
No.
I've been caught by one in sparring before. It's never good.
And that is why I box.
Yeah. I guess we should finally talk about it.
Pain. Pure pain.
Tony Ferguson. Age has caught up to him, I would say.
Yeah. It hurts.
It wasn't even like round one was kind of exciting because the fight started, but I just felt sad, honestly, for most of the fight.
Let's not take it away from Benil.
No,
Because he looked great.
You did?
I hate to say it, he looked great, but I feel like he gets fucked up by Dustin, Justin Gaethje, Oliveira, Chandler.
He might have some trouble into the top 5.
Yeah, I think he's definitely got stuff to tune in. But I mean, then again, look at who we had in the main event with Charles Oliveira. That's some dudes late in their career and just can start chaining enough stuff together.
Charles is still young, though.
Yeah,
he's only like 30 or so.
How old is Benil?
He's 32.
Okay, so
he's still got some.
Like, I'd agree.
It's the gray hair.
Him going in.
He looks a lot older.
It's the uncle look. Yeah, I'd agree. Him going into the top 5 is
tough.
Yeah.
Tough for sure.
A rough go with some of the guys, but yeah, he looked good. He did well. Like, he made Tony have to be so defensive for him. That maybe wasn't the most exciting, but
I would give him Dos Anjos. Him versus Dos Anjos. I think that'd be a good fight.
Yeah, that's solid.
Because Dos Anjos is like number 7. They're right outside there.
I thought Dos Anjos was committed to 170 now, though.
No, he dropped back down.
No, he came down because he was like, Khabib's gone, it's time. And honestly, fair enough.
That's when he fought Paul Felder, right?
Oh, yeah.
155.
Yeah. Where's Paul Felder in the rankings?
I don't know. Is he even on? Oh, he's number 10. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I know he kind of retired.
I was going to say maybe him versus Benil, but it doesn't really make sense for Benil.
After that, he wasn't actually retired.
Okay.
I think he said he was in, just more like the legacy fights.
Man, does Tony call it a night now or what?
I'm telling you, him versus Cowboy. Winner retires, loser retires.
The retirement.
Yeah, just have one good scrap. You've never had the 3rd round of your fight. You're both at the end.
It was a very good fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
know. The whole thing just bums me out. I hate watching fighters get old, man.
Well, especially because there was the hype of him like going and training. It was Freddie Roach, right?
Yeah, it was Freddie Roach.
And like his hands, obviously you're hoping to see a bit of an improvement and just.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things. You get old and there's. I said it earlier, but he just doesn't have like in the transitions, the explosive power to this, like in those wrestling transitions to get dominant position. I feel like is what's really hurting him on the ground.
Yeah. And I mean, Benil, I'm pretty sure they said is like a world jiu-jitsu champ.
Yeah,
so like, he knows what he was doing. Because a lot of other people could have like, when Tony had him, I think it was in he tried to darce him in the 2nd, was it?
Yeah.
A lot of other guys might have gotten caught. He was so close.
He was on the wrong side of it.
Yeah.
But a less experienced guy or somebody who maybe wasn't as... Because Benil, another thing to his credit, was like calm, didn't look panicked at any
he looked
point.
like he was just another day at the office.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's why I'm saying him versus Cowboy. They're probably not going to take each other down.
But then I have to go. I was going to say, but I have to go for Cowboy.
I don't give a fuck. Bring CM Punk back. Have him fight Cowboy. That's it.
Just
Cowboy gets a win. Give him the win.
Just anybody. I don't care.
Yeah, it's like watching Tyron Woodley. Now, I didn't even like Tyron Woodley that much. Like, I was just meh on him. But watching him lose all those fights in a row made me actually sad. Like, I just didn't feel good.
Because he lost 16 rounds in a row, and the last one he got finished in.
I don't think I've ever seen another fighter just that glazed out, just dead in the eyes like that. Like, even Tony here, you can say oh, he didn't do anything, blah blah blah. Yeah, but at least he was trying. But Tyron just looked dead.
Yeah. We can all say Tony did not give up.
Yeah, exactly.
His knee.
One of the toughest men in the world. It's him and Anthony Smith. They're maybe 1 and 2. Throw them up there every wall, but they're the toughest boys.
When I've done jiu-jitsu and someone's got a heel hook on me, I'm tapping instantly for that because you can feel it immediately. Yeah. And so that is just disgusting and vile.
Yeah. Awful to see. Not as awful as Chris Weidman in the last... if you guys who are listening to the podcast want a quick reaction to watching the Chris Weidman leg break...
It was so bad.
Yeah. The worst part is when he steps on it. When he steps on it.
It's a complete U.
It's like a Twizzlers. It's like a Twizzlers after.
It's a burrito that's been dipped in water. It's just flopping around.
Just smacking a light pole with a wet pool in the middle.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on lately because you had Weidman, you have Jacare, you have Tony. It's just what is with these gross Gross injuries.
Dude, the Jacare snap is just in my mind.
And the noise just...
It's like a cannon went off.
I remember when I broke my collarbone, exact same like snap noise. I was like, oh no.
Did you not care at all like he did?
No, I was like, oh my god, the pain.
Come on, Tim, you gotta pump these numbers up.
Fuck, man. Yeah, he did not give a fuck that his arm got broken.
Well, yeah, Jacare not giving a fuck that his arm broke and just like looked more bummed out than he lost. And then Tony like we're like, oh no, how's he gonna get up after that? And he just pops up, legs fine, walks back to his corner. You're like, what the fuck?
The end of the third when he's in guard though.
Yeah, you can see him
pushing on his
wincing.
hip. You can see he's just like dying of pain.
I wonder if that too is because like he trained famously. Tony Ferguson trained a lot, like a lot.
Yeah.
And I wonder if some of like the injuries and him slowing down a lot is probably, I would guess, because he overtrained a bit.
Potentially, yeah.
There's definitely some wear and tear involved. I mean, he kicks steel pipes.
Yeah.
Well, I was like,
The Tony just catches up with you.
the Tony Ferguson element of his training probably does not help in old age.
No.
I mean, just even when he was winning and he was on top, like every fight he was getting like cracked and whatnot. And as you get older, you can not take that anymore.
Yeah, I don't know if I can remember a Ferguson fight where it's like, oh dang, he came out of that untanged.
Clean and defensively responsible.
The downside of needing to be, completely rocked before you.
But the Tony Ferguson Dark Souls dodge rolling away from
Anthony Pettis.
Anthony
That
Pettis
was
is
such
one
a
of the
good
greatest UFC moments.
That is. Like, he was awesome. And, I mean, he still is awesome. And he has some of the, like, best banger fights.
Yeah,
But I feel
absolutely.
like he's just a little old now.
It's crazy. Well, it's crazy that you have like such a pinpointable moment. Because with Woodley, when he got beat by Usman, like at least it was, like it was his like emotion. Like it just seemed like he could never like emotionally get the fire back up when he was in those other fights. Tony, it just looks like it's a skill thing. So it's weird that he was like annihilating people up to Justin Gaethje, then just gets like
Well, it's not
annihilated there, and then just can't get it back.
I think my theory's always been something big must have happened in Tyron Woodley's personal life because he looks dead in the Usman fight.
Yeah,
Like
definitely.
something happened. Maybe it was the falling in and out of love with you rap album that he released.
Maybe the number.
That made me dead in the eyes.
It was truly falling in and
reception
out
he
of
was
love.
hoping for.
My theory on that is probably that he just in training, like he probably was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go out and do this today, and it just wasn't quite there.
Yeah.
Like maybe like his body just couldn't get,
Or
like
he just didn't love it like he used to. Maybe
That
he
too.
just felt-
He's a little older, too,
Yeah.
to be fair.
it's just so stark though.
Yeah.
It's like Darren Till is what arguably his best, one of his best
great,
performances.
Yeah, looks great.
Well, and Darren Till didn't land or landed like 2 strikes or
Yeah,
something, like
so it was
basically
ridiculous.
nothing. And everyone like Darren Till was the favorite in that fight for some reason.
Yeah.
There was a bit of a hype train going on for Darren Till a little bit.
It's still insane.
The fact that Till ever made it 70,
yeah.
I will say that fight is still best walkout for Darren Till. Him walking out to Sweet Caroline.
Yeah.
Yes.
He walks up to it every fight now.
I know,
the
but
best-
it was just something about that was so good,
Yeah.
that one.
The best thing is that there's a dude at my gym who like speaks like sounds exactly like Darren Till, and every fight I've ever been at with him, he walks out to Sweet Caroline. I was like, oh my goodness, the odds!
The same guy.
It's the same guy, exactly.
Except
Yeah.
Charles Oliveira versus Michael Chandler.
oh my god, dude! I literally,
Hot damn!
I got out of my chair and was screaming at the TV.
I was saying that's the loudest the three of us have been while watching.
I
something
was
as
just
long.
Max Holloway. Since Max Holloway.
That's
Yeah.
true.
I was just stunned. I didn't know what to say.
Yeah.
I was just stunned.
Well, just a roller coaster of a first round.
Right. So like, I can't even.
So
yeah.
Chandler clips him.
Yeah.
Start of round 1,
Almost gets him in the guillotine.
and then Charles goes for like a blast double, and Chandler gets him in a guillotine, and it's pretty tight.
Yeah.
Doesn't fully have it, but it's pretty tight.
Yeah.
And then Charles gets out of that. There's a scramble. He gets his back.
Yeah.
You're like, oh shit, this is it.
He slams him.
Well,
on
and he
his
had
back.
like the leg lock, right? Or like the hip lock.
You get the leg triangle on him.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh shit, like, and 4 minutes left? Like, okay, so.
Yeah, first round, they're dry. It's like, oh no. And then Chandler gets out of it, and then he rocks him again, and he's like 1 or 2 punches away from finishing the fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the round ends. Tough guy Charles, let's just say
Yeah.
that. 'Cause
Well,
good
and
lord.
like Tim and I were saying, like, the biggest thing for like Charles in this one when he was getting rocked was just his ability to stay calm.
Yeah.
You know, didn't panic, didn't or whatever, but just like the fact that he's always attacking even when he was getting rocked. Like he got punched in the face and tried to grab the arm and throw his legs up.
Right, and I noticed that when there was ground and pound, like he would just start throwing up the beginnings of a triangle or the beginnings of an armbar. Just you have to be a little like more calculated with the punches.
Yeah, you can't just throw
just get something up there.
Yeah.
And then round 2 starts and picture perfect left hook.
Left hook, big right hand, huge.
To anyone that bet on Charles winning via KO.
well done.
He made tons of money. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane.
That
crazy.
finished him there. That is crazy.
Yeah.
Well deserved.
Well deserved.
Yeah.
Long time in the UFC. He was so happy.
Yeah. Honestly, his joy was just that was insane. Yeah. Runs in with the crowd, like goes over to the commentary table, then over to Dana. Yeah.
It's one of those fights that just makes you come a little bit in your pants.
Oh yeah, dude. Dick was rock hard.
One of those back and forth ones.
Yeah. Big left hook at the beginning.
Well, especially because going into that one, I'm pretty sure we all held the same opinion of we would like Oliveira to win, but we kind of expected Chandler to. And I don't really know why I expted Chandler
we expected him to win for the reason that he almost won.
I guess, yeah.
If he touches you, you go down.
But it was just like because the last few fights we've seen Charles, and he's also looked insane.
Yeah. No, totally.
My idea going into that fight was if Chandler hits you, it's kind of over. and I honestly didn't expect Charles could take him down because he's such a good wrestler.
Yeah.
And so kudos to him for that.
Man, that's the awesome thing about fighting, though. Like, you can know as much as you want to about fighters in the sport, and every fight is so different. Like the ways they play out.
Yeah,
it's crazy. It's
great for sure.
You never know for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I just didn't think Charles had like that kind of like. Obviously, he's got good hands. He's been showing a lot like better combinations and speed and all that stuff. I just didn't think he'd have the power, especially because Chandler's so like big and his neck's huge. Like it's obviously hard to knock those dudes out.
You could not ask for.
Well, then when Chandler turned and kind of started to try to get away, and he did like that looping hook around him, like just laid him out completely.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, wow. Enjoy fighting the winner of Dustin and Connor.
Yeah, that's next month, isn't it? June 10th?
Yes.
No, it's July. July is Connor Dustin. June is Stylebender.
Oh, right. Stylebender Vittori.
Next for Michael Chandler, please MMA gods, is Justin Gaethje.
That is correct.
They've already been beefing, so it's there.
Yeah.
Gaethje needs a good fight. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's just such a good fight.
Oh, yeah.
Either one of those guys touches you and you might have a rough night.
Oh yeah.
Now here's my kind of question, I guess, to the group. As much as I like Oliveira and all that, I like Poirier more. But do you think we're going to be kind of in a period here where like 155 belt just changes hands a whole bunch?
I absolutely think so.
You think?
I wouldn't. It wouldn't surprise me either way.
nice.
I'll explain more.
Well, we can't go to that sound clip and throw it in his face.
I could see Oliveira holding on to it for a long time, or I could see Dustin holding on to it.
Dustin, I feel like, is the.
Those
if
are
he
the
can
two
get
guys
by
I could see
McGregor
holding
again.
it on
I think
to.
Dustin will end up holding on to it for a long time. That's what I think. Like Oliver's really good, but I mean Dustin's just looked like a different animal.
That's true.
And I say he came the closest out of anyone to beating Khabib. He had some really good moments in that Khabib fight. He's looked just great for a long time.
I mean, the Conor fight still. Like Conor almost finished him in the first round. Still,
I mean, by almost finish him, he like rocked him a little in the first.
He hurt him.
I mean, yeah, he was like not quite as gruesome, obviously, as what Chandler did to Oliveira in the first. But same kind of sentiment, right? Like, couple more punches, that one could have been done. So, like, I want Poirier to win. I believe he can win, but it's not like I'm going into him versus Conor with 100%
no
confidence.
guarantees in fighting. No guarantees.
But I wouldn't even go into him against Oliveira at 100% either.
No.
Like, he'd have the edge, but not.
But I'm pretty confident in Dustin. It's just so hard to doubt the dude. He just gets shit
I'll never doubt him again, honestly.
True.
Yeah.
True. He's very good.
I do have a question for you.
Oh, no.
If Khabib was still around versus Oliveira, how do you think that fight would be?
It's like impossible to bet against him.
I know it's impossible too, but like Oliveira's good on the ground too. Like he is what we thought Tony Ferguson would be against.
Yeah.
The issue is that when Khabib gets you down, he doesn't really like. It's not typically full guard. Like he's usually on your back and stuff.
Yeah, there's not a lot of space.
Yeah. So I don't like. because obviously, as we said, Oliveira's best thing was like being able to throw up submission attempts while you're like ground and pounding on him, and then you have to think about it, and then he can try to either get up or slip something in there and maybe sub you. I don't really see him doing that on Khabib though. Like if he's on your back and he's got your legs pinned with like the
However,
he does.
Dustin almost caught him on a guillotine, and if Charles gets one of those guillotines.
Yeah, he's getting that guillotine. Yeah.
I mean, not to suck Khabib off, but I mean, didn't Khabib be like? It was calculated. Like he was like, I went in, I felt the arms. I was like, I had his leg.
That's bullshit.
It would be bullshit if it was anyone but Khabib, though. But like,
that guillotine was so tight, you can see his like spine coming.
No, but because he was like, I knew I had the leg. He's like, so I knew he wasn't just gonna squeeze me with his arms and get me, and I knew his legs weren't gonna be a factor.
And that would be a mistake against Charles Oliveira.
Against Kevin Lee, that is a mistake.
And he just one arm curl submits.
That's that may be like one of the most impressive things I've ever seen. It was also very funny because the people I was watching it at the time knew that like I watched MMA and stuff and obviously fight and knew all that, but they didn't really. And I was like, so when he got down, I was just like, okay, no, like he's fine. He doesn't have the legs into it, so it's not going to be a thing. He's got one arm. And I was like, well, what the fuck?
He just looked like an idiot.
Yeah, I was like, well, thanks, Oliveira.
Yeah, I mean, Charles is so tough.
Yeah.
His submissions are so good. His striking has looked crisp.
True.
Like, I mean, I'm riding high on him for sure, but it's just so hard to doubt Dustin Poirier.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll never doubt him again. He can lose like 6 in a row.
And he can submit it well.
He always fights, and I'm always like, well, he might win, but I just edge it out for the other guy, and then he wins.
Yeah, exactly.
He's fueled by
that Justin Gaethje Dustin Poirier fight is legendary.
I want them to rematch so bad.
Yeah, please.
Especially because like Gaethje's been looking better.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Gaethje's fight against Tony Ferguson really obviously put a huge physical toll on him because Tony Ferguson got like steamrolled for that whole fight. And I think with Tony Ferguson, it's one of those cases where he's too tough for his own good. Yeah. Like it's bad that he is that tough because instead of just going down or getting knocked out like most people would and avoiding 2 more rounds of damage, he just stays up and he keeps getting hit. And that, especially, he's getting up there a little bit, it just takes like stuff away from you never get back.
I mean, tonight is the perfect example. He's getting heel hooked. He's not going to win this fight. You can tap and save your knee because his knee's gone.
Yeah.
His knee is gone.
Well, I mean, the doubtful thing is he is Wolverine, so that'll grow back.
That is true. That is true.
I think one thing that is going to be more interesting for listeners about us is that as people who do fight, I think everyone around the table, to varying degrees, is pretty strong believers in like throwing in the towel, calling a fight when it needs to be called. If you're losing a fight and getting the shit kicked out of you, it is your corner's responsibility to stop that fight and save you from taking a ton of damage.
100%.
Yeah. Preying on like one big shot.
Yeah.
It's just not a great idea.
Like Kelvin Cater versus Max Holloway, they should have thrown in the towel
in the fourth.
In the fourth for sure. 100%.
That one was kind of weird though, because you would be like, oh, we should throw in the towel, and then Kelvin would actually land a big shot. And you're like, oh shit.
But it's not even like when he was landing big, they were really affecting Max.
Yeah, Max did not care.
Yeah, because I remember it was at one of Zach's boxing fights, and me and Luke were watching, and it was one of the fights before, and this kid is getting fucking annihilated. Like, he was eating nothing but big rights and lefts for the first round nonstop. He was getting wobbled. I think he even got dropped.
You know that was like those Bob dummies, those like white dummies. It was basically
a Bob dummy, and so me and Luke were like, "Oh my god, are we really going to send him out for the second round?" And they send him out, and at the start of the second round, exact same thing happens. We're like, okay, corner's going to throw. It's this guy's like second or third amateur fight, so they're going to stop this, and they let it go, and then they bring him back to the. They scrape him off the canvas with a shovel, put him back on the stool, and we're like, the coach has to stop this between rounds. The fighter is bleeding. He hasn't landed a significant strike in the entire fight. The coach is like, we're putting him back out there for the third round. And then it's put through the meat grinder again.
Was that the one against the guy who I had fought? Like, yeah. Well, and those were like, they were like wind up shots.
Yeah.
Like the dude was like turning, just like big looping hooks. Like, oh my goodness. Like,
it's important.
And that guy hit hard. Trust me, I know that dude hit hard.
I think because like fighters have the mentality of, oh, I'll never quit, I'll never stop, blah blah blah.
And you need that.
And you need that as a fighter, which is why the decision of stopping the fight should be in the corner's hands, and the corner should make it, because I would never be like, I'll stop the fight.
Yeah.
You know?
Especially in amateur.
I know.
You're not getting paid. There's nothing. You're on your third amateur fight. There's no belts on the line or anything.
Well, I mean, like that fight where I like fell and got up and like my ankle was sprained. I wasn't like, I can get through this. The dude took one step towards it. It was like, my ankle is fucked. I can't move. Oh no.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. Well, and I think like I think every time you fight with injuries is pretty much just a good rule. Something gets hurt
something's gonna be
on
wrong.
the way in, and so your coaches know that too when you're going in. You know, and you're gonna be like, oh, you know, tough it through the medical. I'm totally fine, but yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's very important that the coach is someone you can trust to like take care of you in there.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
110%. But incredible card tonight.
Yeah.
Like off the charts.
That was a real good. We've got spoiled lately.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. The last
it's been
last
good.
little bit's been.
I'm not gonna lie, fellas, I'm a little turned on. I'm a little turned on.
Really, that's so unlike you.
I got a semi.
Next week, Cody Garbrandt comes back.
Yes.
Oh shit.
That's 135, right? He was talking about 125 for a while.
I know he was talking about 125.
I guess that fight
surprised
fell
me.
through against Rob Font, which I don't know a whole lot about Rob Font. He's like ranked number 3.
We've seen him fight before.
Yeah, so that should be a real good fight.
Jack Hermanson is fighting at the very beginning of that card against Edmund Sherbazian?
Oh,
Dang,
that's fun. Oh, there we go.
Wow, that's a banger.
Well, yeah, that's great.
that must be new.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, that the woman's strawweight co-main, Jan, I can't.
Don't offend the Chinese.
I don't
want
wanna-
to copy striped. Get a call from
If playing
GP.
Kingdom Hearts has taught me anything, it's that I can't pronounce names off reading alone. As the audio clips kick in, you're like, oh, I've been pronouncing that wrong this entire game.
No, the women's strawweight co-main is an absolute bang.
Yeah, Carla versus, we'll just say Jan.
Yeah.
I do not want to butcher.
But she's super, like, she's very
no,
good from
great
what I
fight.
remember of her.
Some of those like new fighters coming out in China.
Yeah.
They were really
Yeah.
good.
Because there's her, obviously, Wei Li.
Who's
What's
that?
the gentleman's name who it sounds like you're being offensive to Chinese people? It's just his name. Is it Song Yadong?
Yeah. Benil Dariush is fucking furious that they're in the UFC. His anti-communism spiel after the
Dude, Vanille and Rose.
Hilarious.
Vanille and Rose could have the ultimate communist hating baby.
They come together like a megazord.
By our powers combined. Yeah, ridiculous. That speech, I get that fighters like trying to go viral with their speeches, but that was just retarded.
It was insane.
So stupid.
Him,
Jesus, Elon Musk,
Yeah,
communism.
Elon
Yeah.
That was
he really
very
just
good.
kind of like shotgun spread his speech. He's like, I'm gonna hit enough people. That
Dude, it was a soundbite though.
It's a soundbite.
We're talking about it.
Yes, that's true. Crazy stuff. Oh
Yeah.
Felicia Spencer is also on that card.
Oh yeah. All I remember about Felicia Spencer is her getting like really beaten very badly by Amanda Nunes.
Yeah, and subbed Megan Anderson. That's all I know.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that. I kind of don't really focus on the fight when Megan Anderson fights, if I'm being honest with you.
So it looks like the week after that, Jairzinho is back
No, Rosenstrike.
against Sakai. That should be a good one.
That is a good fight. And
then 263 should be hype as hell with Stylebender,
Oh, yes,
Vittori,
yeah.
Figueiredo,
Oh,
Moreno rematch, Leon Edwards and Nate Diaz. Jesus Christ.
And Damian Maya and Ball.
Bilal Muhammad shaking his fist at the sky, and Leon Edwards is on the same card as him.
Dude, Bilal Muhammad is just praying that Nate Diaz and Damian Maya both get injured or something. And Leon Edwards have to go at it again anyway.
And honestly, Paul Craig and Jamal Hill's a sick fight.
Yeah.
That whole card is all good.
Very good. I will say, I do feel bad for Bilal.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I understand why they just push Leon through, but it is kind of bullshit. I do
It
see
is
his
kinda
point.
Bullshit, yeah. I would absolutely agree with that.
Hopefully he's out there enough that he gets another big opportunity like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, just so lame that it was like, well, I was winning the fight anyway. Cool. Well, maybe don't poke someone in the fucking eye then.
It was
Like,
Round 1 of a 5-round fight.
yeah.
That was a bad eye poke. You hate
yeah.
to see it go into like the first
Oh,
knockout.
yeah. Do you remember, like, like middle school and shit when people used to flip their eyelids up and then like walk around and like that's what it did, but on an iPhone.
Poking my finger in my opponent's eye so far that when I pull it out, it flips his eyelid up.
Yeah, that's gnarly.
Gross. You.
CP and DC did like it. So
I do like that DC owns it whenever it comes up.
that's true. He's like, oh, those eye pokes are terrible. I've done that a few times.
I've been that guy.
There was also some pretty banger fights announced recently.
Yeah. Yeah.
Derek Brunson versus Darren Till.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I feel like I edge towards Till, but
I'd say so.
Man, Till's meme presence is just so good that I'll always cheer for him. Him sending a picture of him shitting to Colby Covington is off the charts funny. Yeah, and he's been like posting all these weird pictures of Derek Brunson coming up to the fight. Derek Brunson was doing an interview and said that Till messages him every day. Ridiculous.
He's a treasure.
Yeah, respect the man. Till could never win another fight and he would still be in my top 5 fighters.
Yeah.
Like, just love him. He's so funny. He plays the internet game perfectly.
yeah, very, very
Just
well.
perfectly, yeah.
Well, and Brunson, like he beat Holland, and then before that he beat Chubaznian. Was that his fight before that?
I cannot remember.
Here, let's pull that up.
Pull that up, Jamie. Hold on. Wrong podcast.
And we have copyright infringement.
Fuck.
Yeah, we need
Sued by Spotify.
We need a 4th person.
So for the 2 people who are listening, the podcast this week is only going to go up on YouTube on the first day. We're still waiting to get approved for everything else. So if you were chomping at the bit to listen to it on Spotify, don't worry. It will be there. It's just going to take some time for us to get approved.
Okay, so he lost Izzy in 2018.
Yes.
Which,
Sure.
then he's beaten Elias Theodoro.
Oh, the Canadian guy who did that insanely retarded fight and got cut from the UFC. You remember that? He was like spinning around the octagon.
Oh, yeah.
So fun.
So yeah, top 5 win there. Ian Heinisch,
Yeah, okay.
Edmund Chubaznian, and then Kevin Holland. Suffice to say, I just don't really see, it's not like he's gotten elite lately. They've just been like, can you beat Kevin Holland or Derek Brunson? No. Can you beat Derek Brunson?
Yeah,
No.
he's a bit of a gatekeeper.
He's definitely the gatekeeper.
I've seen people online like shit talking Darren Till. Where they're like, oh, win a fight, man, win a fight. It's like the Rob Whittaker fight
It's
was
good
awesome and really close.
Didn't he beat Gaslam too?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know what they're talking about.
Dude, yeah. MMA fans have the shortest memory imaginable. He lost the fight and then he got injured for his next one. Get a win, man.
Oh, dude, can you imagine if Chandler had won today? Every comment section would be 29 in Chandler, 29 in Chandler.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Did
29.
was Till's last fight against Gaslam? that his last one?
Yeah, let me...
No. His last fight was against Rob.
No, I don't think so.
I believe Timothy is
I
right.
bet you a hand job that it was against Robert Whittaker.
I'm not going to take
It was,
that.
in fact, Robert Whittaker.
Let's go. Get that hand ready, dude.
And then, yeah, so he beat Gaslam, and then the fight before that was still a welterweight when he lost to Masvidal.
Also, talk about middleweights. Ghosta versus Jared Cannonier.
Now, this one does get my dick hard. That one, yeah, let's go.
Let's get some big, beefy boys.
I need to bet every dollar I have that it doesn't go to decision.
Yeah.
Unless we see, unless Paulo Costa's hitting the wine a little too hard the night before.
I forgot. What an insane excuse. 4 months after the fact.
Okay, so that and Wilder's Mike walkout costume was too heavy are 2 of the best excuses for losing a fight of all time.
Dude, that's still upset. I'll be hitting the back, and every once in a while, I'll just be like, remember one day on that Wilder said his suit was too heavy? I'm like, oh, come on, man. Just the worst.
Wine. Just gotta, even if you're injured, nobody cares what your excuse is for losing. Literally no one gives a fuck.
Especially 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
Well, and you get, he got so pieced up, didn't land a meaningful strike at all.
He literally got fucked.
Got humped. Had that awful video before it. And I went back and watched that a week or so after that fight, and I was like, he deserved the humping.
That chasing that random guy around the octagon video.
Well,
And it's not safe for the baby that Israel put in him for him to be drinking like that. Unbelievable.
Well, and then he was like, you know, it was homophobic for him to hump me like that. And then when he had the pink hair, Ghosta was just like, oh, you faggot, and you homo. I was like, what the hell? Oh yeah, just awful. So I hope
though.
Yeah, I hope Cannonier takes that.
Ghosta has been cycling on like crazy.
Who do you favor in that fight?
Cannonier looked good against Robert in his last fight. It really just depends. I think if like the frozen one, Paulo Costa comes out, he'll lose. But I think like normal, if the Paulo Costa that fought Yo Romero comes out, he'll win that fight.
You know, I think I lean towards Cannonier, just for the sake of Izzy really showed that Paulo Costa kind of has a like weakness to leg kicks.
Yeah.
And Jared Cannonier has some juicy leg
kicks. Yeah.
So that might slow him down.
That's the cannon part of his name.
Well, and as much as I like, or I guess liked Romero, as he is off to Bellator, like him and Ghosta, yes, it was a fantastic fight. It's insane that they both just head kicked each other and didn't give a fuck. I wish I had that power. But like they were both kind of tailor-made for each other in the fact that like Yoel just kind of sits there and then tries to explode and also doesn't care if you hit him because apparently that doesn't matter to him.
Yeah.
When he sold his soul, he's like, yeah, just head kicks don't count anymore. But yeah, like Paulo Costa like looked good in that fight, but that's because it was against an opponent who was just gonna sit there and be like, okay, throw your biggest, widest, loopiest shots at me and I will eat them.
Yeah. That is honestly top 5 fights of all time.
That is a really fun
It's a great fight. Yeah, it's a fun time.
It's just fun.
Yeah.
If you watch that fight, you just have a really good time.
Yeah, if someone was like, just show me a fun MMA fight, I'd be like, enjoy.
Yeah.
It's like Tony versus Pettis.
Yes.
You don't need to know fighting.
Yeah, you just have a good
time watching that.
So also announced was Islam Makhachev and Thiago Moses?
I think it's Moises.
Moises.
Another not like top 10 fighter that Islam is fighting.
Gotta feed him the cans, dude. Juice him up.
I feel bad for him though because he wants bigger fights. Like he's asked for them.
No one really cares to fight him. It seems.
Man, it's because of the way the UFC is now. No one wants to fight a number lower than them, which makes sense. You always want to. If I'm number 5, I want to fight 5 or like 4 and up, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to go back and fight 7 or 8. So I'll always try to get those fights. So the guys who are in the back, it's just tough for them to get fights.
I feel like the way it's kind of structured though is if like you're in the top 5. Like, you're kind of always in contention of getting a champion, like a title fight. But if you're like 4 and 5, then you're kind of the gatekeeper for like 6 to 10 rather.
Yeah.
At least that seems to generally be how it goes, except for random exceptions.
It's just buck wild with Islam because he's on like what a 7-fight win streak or something.
Yeah.
People get title shots off of that.
Yeah, no, that is crazy. But he also hasn't fought like a super high quality of opponent.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. 7-fight win streak. I think it's time to give him someone in the top 10.
I would agree. Yeah.
Has he not fought anyone in the top 10?
I don't think so. Not really.
Well, and it's kind of a shame for him as well because now, like, he's getting hype and fans and stuff behind him. And now if he does fight a top guy and he loses, then it's just kind of taken out, like all that hype's gone, right? So it's doing him dirty too.
Yeah.
He was a little screwed because he was supposed to fight RDA and then one of them got injured or something.
Yeah.
And so.
I think didn't RDA pull out and then he fought whoever he did on his last one.
Dober. He fought Dober.
Drew Dober.
Yes.
The magazine model.
My top pick to play Nightwing, if we're ever taking UFC fighters and making a comic book movie, Drew Dober is Dick Grayson, 100%.
He does have that smile, that
jawline that could cut through glass. Yeah,
absolutely. Dude, he lost that fight, walked out of the octagon, and was laid before he got to the back room. Like, yeah.
Dude, I want to see him and Brian Ortega do the Ultimate Fighter, but just for getting laid.
I would absolutely watch that, but I think Brian Ortega would win. My money is on Brian Ortega getting laid every time.
I feel, yeah.
He's good at jiu-jitsu. He plays the guitar.
I feel like they're both always getting laid. It's just a matter of who's pulling what and who.
Absolutely.
I feel like Drew Dober must pull.
Absolutely.
He has to.
Absolutely.
Just like shredded.
Yeah.
This guy has that hair, that American-made smile.
Oh, dude, he would have cleaned up in Texas tonight for sure.
The reason this isn't a video podcast is because we're all busted ugly.
Well, damn. Maybe a bit.
Also, Thiago Santos versus Johnny Walker.
Yeah.
Johnny the Worm Walker getting injured.
I hope he injures himself walking out.
Honestly, this one kind of surprised me.
Yeah, it was. Well, Santos has lost 2-3 in a row, right?
Well, he lost to Jones.
Yeah,
And then he lost to Glover. Do you
I
have
thought there was a fight in between that.
There might have been a fight in between. Oh, yeah. If only there was some kind of database.
On the internet.
Because he fought Jones and he blew out every muscle on his knee.
Yeah.
Then, did he fight Glover right after that?
Well, I mean, right after meeting a year and some after he
Yeah.
healed. Yeah, then he lost to Alexander. How do you say his name? Rakic?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Decision in the third submission.
Oh, right, that fight was terrible. I remember now.
Oh, yeah, he got fucked up. Yeah, I remember.
No, it was just a snore fest.
Yeah, his memory service was boring.
Which one did Santos get fucked up in then?
Teixeira.
Yeah, Teixeira.
Oh,
got
Teixeira was...
Well, kind of, because he kept... Like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, as an amateur boxer thinks the pro MMA fighter should have done this. But if memory serves, he kept, hurting Teixeira and then going to the ground with him, getting absolutely fucked on the ground, and then they'd stand up, and then he'd drop him, and then he'd go back down. I was like, no, just wait for him to stand up and kick him in the head again.
Yeah.
You don't have to go down and roll with, Teixeira, who's obviously very good.
Man, I don't think he will win on his title shot, but it would be kind of nice if Teixeira did.
Yeah, I like Jan.
I also really like
I'm a big Jan fan.
the Polish power.
that Polish power.
He's just such a nice guy.
Yeah.
The idea of him going up to heavyweight at some point is very intriguing.
Yeah, sure.
He's a dense man, so he could probably pack
Dense
on a few.
gentleman.
I feel like if it wasn't, if Stipe was still a champ, it'd be a bit more interesting just because Stipe is a bit of a smaller heavyweight.
Yeah.
And he's a big light heavyweight, so you'd be like, oh, not really a size difference here. But
With Ngannou,
with Ngannou, it's a tough go.
Yeah.
that's a lean 260.
Well, I think he posted on Twitter the other day that DC was in his last camp helping him with wrestling and is going to be helping
that's
him with the
crazy.
wrestling in this next one. So I was like, okay, shit. You've got, yeah.
Oh, damn.
I thought I saw.
Oh, no.
Well, that's the thing. I'm like, you've got DC and Usman, which say what you want about Usman, but the man can wrestle.
Yeah.
So you've got both of them helping you out, and
Yeah.
then, his hands are trees.
Yeah, no kidding. And then we got Jeremy Stevens fighting this dude.
A guy, yeah.
Hey, man,
Not entirely sure. Jeremy Stevens is usually a fun fight, though.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Gamrot. It's not a good name.
I don't know if there's even that much to say about that, but it's like Jeremy Stevens is back, he's fighting. I
Don't
think
poke
Jeremy
me, yeah.
Stevens should have been punished for his giving the dude a whiplash at the weigh-ins.
Oh, yeah.
That was fun.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Pushing people at the weigh-in. It's like
Yeah.
you're going to fight him in under 24 hours.
You will be paid to fight him tomorrow.
Well, especially when he was like, he got in my face and I had to do it. I was like, he really didn't. You literally, you got in his face because it's a face-off.
Yeah. Shockingly enough, he did what was expected of him.
What was it last week? Weren't there two dudes who were throwing after the bell? I was like, literally wait 30, or they were yelling at each other. Who was that?
Oh, that fight was insanely boring.
Yeah, those two heavyweights. It was
Yeah.
Marcy Green or something.
Yeah. And it was literally wait 30 seconds. You're being paid to
They were
fight
just,
right
they were just
now.
laying on the ground, and then they were like, "Well, fuck you, man."
Oh, yeah. It's like the most boring fight. They're just laying on top of each other.
Dude, I love the Herb Dean dressing them down in between.
Yes.
He's like, you, get over here. I don't want to be involved in this.
He's like, "Well, no." He's like, "Shut up."
No. Listen to Herb Dean laying down the law.
Dude, if Herb Dean was reffing my fight and he was ever pointed at me, it was like, you, get over here. Like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it. I'll never do it again.
Destroy your confidence.
Yeah.
So now we'll kind of move on to some news, I think.
Yeah, just general stuff that happened.
General stuff.
Kevin Lee calls up Mike Perry.
A surprise, to be sure.
Yeah.
I guess. Oh, welcome. Finish the
For
quote,
the
I
cringe
suppose.
belt. So, for those of you listening to the podcast who don't know me, I have a vehement and passionate hatred for Kevin Lee. So I'm in a weird position where I would be cheering for Mike Perry in that.
I honestly don't dislike Mike Perry at all. Honestly, it's just kind of sad to me.
He's just kind of a meme.
The whole thing's just kind of weird.
But he does obviously have skill, and then he's clearly got some mental issues at the same time.
The real question is, did he beat his wife?
Shit, I forgot. Yeah, fuck Mike Perry. I forgot about that. Because he definitely did. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah.
I mean, there's that video of them quote unquote sparring.
Yeah, and he beats the shit out of
Beating the shit out of her.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot about that. Sorry, Tim. Yeah, let's go, Kevin Lee.
Yeah, are you gonna vote for Kevin Lee or the wife beat?
Yeah,
I'm in a terrible position.
she was in a worse one.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's a domestic violence joke on the podcast.
Let's go.
You can tell in the video like she's not having a good time.
No, dude, I feel bad that I did forget about that.
If I was like teaching my girlfriend how to fight, I'm not ripping her with vibes. You know what, you bitch? Take this.
Yeah, there's no sparring that's happening.
I'm a man. I can hurt you.
I'm alpha now.
She knows who's boss. Yeah.
Wonder why she left.
Yeah, shocking why she left.
Who can guess?
And there's like people watching it too.
Yeah, it's weird. It's
like,
not good.
Nobody's telling him to tone it back. It's like, what is happening here?
Dude, after there's a few gyms that I've been following for a while. I'm like, oh yeah, I like them. They seem to be good. And then you just watch some of the videos they post, or you hear some of them talking, and just
So let's talk about this. Luke sent me a couple days ago a video of sparring at some kind of Muay Thai gym. And they're throwing elbows without elbow pads.
Just going at it.
Spinning elbows, knees to the head. They're kicking each other full power. And my thought on sparring has always been, you can hit people to the body, but you can't condition your brain to get hit hard. So why are you doing that?
Right. There's literally also, there's importance to sparring hard before a fight, especially when you're newer and young.
Yeah.
You need to get that experience. But a lot of the time, there's no reason to be doing that because you're just going to be like, oh shit, the entire time.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, definitely every once in a while, I'd say for sure.
Yeah.
Just because.
But it has to be with when you're doing hard sparring, when I do it, when I'm training up for a fight, you want to do it with partners that you really trust.
Yeah.
Right? They're similar weight to you trust them, they're not going to try to just fuck you up for the whole thing, right? But when I see a lot of the videos that gyms post online, I wouldn't trust this guy.
Yeah, I'd be out of there. I mean, I was at a gym before the one I'm at now, and every sparring night, it was okay, time to go to war. It was a fight every time.
Yeah.
And they were all twice the size of me. And I was there for a couple months, and I was like, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
I'm getting dinged every time by these 215ers.
And it's just not worth it, and it's so stupid.
You don't learn anything or get better from getting rocked.
Yeah.
Right?
Or if a fighter has a style, the instance I'm thinking of is I was at visiting a gym, and this guy, he was really, really tall and just thick, not fat or anything, but just kind of just a massive gentleman.
Yeah.
And he was tall enough that all of us who were fighting, and there was 3 or 4 of us who were close to the same weight, that he could just kind of lean back against the ropes with his shoulder rolled out, and you couldn't really tag him, and then he just kind of sit there doing this to you, which is all fun and fair and good.
Zach, what is this?
Oh yeah, sorry, he's just pumping his hand out and kind of jabbing you out. Which was fine for the first round, because you're okay, how do I deal with this, yada yada. But then he proceeded to do it for 6 rounds in a row. I'm okay, you're not learning anything from this because you're just leaning against the ropes. I'm not learning anything from this because it's we're just I don't know, sparring, it's learning or teaching or that. It's just useless to do that kind of shit.
Dude, worst sparring story I have, absolute worst, is so I'm at my gym and this new guy comes in. I guess he'd been training at some other gyms before and was just coming ours to check it out. And so there's me and the other more advanced fighters, but it was also kind of a mid-range skill class. So there were some people who were just coming to, train for fun, and they don't want to fight. They just like training Muay Thai, which is fair enough. And then, the more advanced fighters, and we'll spar with the people who come
for fitness.
For fitness, but we're just tapping, touching, just playing around and having fun, right? And this dude comes in, and when he was sparring with the advanced fighters, he was playing nice. We were going good. And then he goes with this lady who's in her mid-30s, and he fucking knocks her out. He throws a huge right hand and lays her up. I was like, what an absolute pussy do you have to be? When I'm fighting the fighters, I'm going to be very gentle and play nice, and then show that I'm a real big man when I fight the lady who's coming to do it for fitness. He got kicked the fuck up, but...
I remember before one of my fights, it was the last day of sparring. And last day of sparring, you're going pretty easy, right?
Yeah.
There's no point.
My poor ankle disagrees, but carry on.
You're going pretty easy. And this guy was he almost broke my nose that day. And he was a big guy.
Yeah.
He was a good 180, 185. And he was just going hard on everyone. And a lot of people had fights. And that's where you got a good gym with some good gym enforcers. And he got fucked by some of the MMA guys. Just like full on like Daniel Cormier slammed and ground and pounded.
You love to see it.
And usually like the coaches or like other people be like, whoa, what's happening? They're like, oh no.
No, not like that.
Dude, there was a gym we were at, and we had one of the guys, he was newer to boxing, but he was in like crazy good shape and was taken to it like pretty quick. He was probably like, I don't know, 130 pounds. So like not a big dude, but he was doing pretty good. And he was sparring with a guy who was like probably 160, 170. And the dude who's 160 is just like ripping into the body really hard. Knew that he didn't have any real fight experience, like bloodied up his nose. Only reason we didn't like pull him out right away is every time like our coach was like, stop. He was like, no, I'm good. Like just kind of wouldn't let him. We're like, well, he's doing well enough, I guess. But anyway, after that round finished, my coach just turned to me. He's like, "Okay, now you're gonna go in with this guy." I was like, "Yep." I'm not gonna smash the dude and try to knock him out or anything. But I dug to the body a few times, and he smartened up pretty quick after that.
Yeah, sometimes if somebody's getting a little too rowdy, it's good just to throw something to the body to be like, come on.
Yeah.
And then sometimes that doesn't have the right effect, and then they just beat the shit out of you.
Dude, honestly,
That's the thing with being a smaller guy.
Yeah.
It's just like, well,
I just like fighting people or like sparring against people who are smaller than me more than fighting people who are big. Like, because anytime I'm sparring anyone who weighs less than me, they're like, "Oh, he's big. I can crank him." Like, no, I don't give a shit if you're 140 pounds. If you crank your shots, it's going to hurt me, and then I will. I don't want to crank you back, and I'm also not just going to sit here and let you knock my head back constantly.
Vittori kind of came out with something interesting. Said Izzy is useless on the ground.
Huge opinion.
And
Interesting.
he quit versus Jan. Which is a big opinion, which I wouldn't necessarily
say. Remember in that Gastelum fight where he was almost threw up a submission at the end of round 3, right?
And 4, I think, right?
Or 4, yeah. You're right.
And it was so slick too.
Yeah.
Like, I've been intrigued in Izzy's ground game since that moment because it was just like right there.
I mean, when you get blast doubled by Jan, who's ginormous, in the weight class above you, it's not unreasonable that you get taken down and held down.
Well, like, how much does Jan walk around at? Like, probably 230 something?
225, somewhere around.
It doesn't look like it cuts a lot, honestly.
I don't. He can't be walking. Like, he has to be more than 210.
Such a dense guy, though.
I would, if I was like betting money, I would say he's probably walking like 20, 30. Like 220, 230, something like that.
Yeah, because I mean, 25 pounds isn't that bad of a weight, especially when you're that big.
Air quotes that bad of a weight cut. It's still bad.
Yeah.
No, like 40 plus Ghosta weigh-ins, but
Well, and the crazy thing is, like, you'd have to think Izzy's camp is just like actually retarded if you don't think they're going to go into the gym and just work wrestling like a motherfucker because everyone in their CAD is going to come after him and try to take him down. Like,
he's got Eugene, I forget his last name, but one of the best coaches.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah.
Just his fight IQ, that's obviously going to translate into his ground game.
I think Izzy's going to come out and fuck him up.
Yeah.
That is my prediction.
Just go out trying to prove something.
Yeah, he's got something to prove. I think Vittori hasn't really improved that much since their last fight. And he's just going to fuck him up.
Well, and everything I've seen out of Izzy, like, in terms of his mental game, I honestly, like, because he's a lot more emotional and, like, honest than I'd say a lot of fighters are. Like, he doesn't try to, like, post up any of that, like, oh, I'm so tough kind of nonsense.
Yeah.
He's posted videos of him crying. He'll be pretty on, like, oh, mentally I'm just kind of fucked right now. And people are, always ripping on him for that. But, like, just that maturity of, like, he's clearly very in control of his mind, and that's just sometimes admitting that it's a bad time.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
He's also, like, got his first loss in MMA, but he's been there, done that in kickboxing. He's got knocked out in kickboxing.
Well, he was so humble about it, too. Like,
people put way too much stock in being undefeated.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I think losing is such an important part of the game. Like, when you lose, you have to come back from something.
Yeah.
So
then you got people like Khabib who just
never lose.
Or Floyd Mayweather just
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, undefeated is a cool thing to have, but I think a lot of people almost view it as a necessity to be like one of the greats.
Yeah.
And I definitely would.
Laughs in George St. Pierre.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I think the people that can lose and then come back in the rematch and win, I think that's really impressive.
Yeah,
definitely.
for sure.
For sure.
Like Stipe to DC.
Yeah.
Gets knocked out and comes back and wins the next 2 fights.
Yeah.
Dude, that might be the most impressive case of just making an adjustment in the middle of a fight is in their second one, because he was just getting fucked up for those first 3 rounds. And then I don't know if it was his cornerman or who was like, hey, go to the body.
Yeah.
Or if he just thought of it or what, but it was just like...
If the memory serves, it was a mid-round adjustment.
Yeah,
I think he threw one early, if memory serves, and it kind of yielded decent results, and then he just really went to that well.
Yeah.
That's one of the most brutal finishes, though. He just, for a TKO, just puts
Hard
it
rip to
down.
easy.
Yeah.
Well, especially because he was just...
bad getting finished before second John Jones fight.
Yeah.
That one's rough, too.
I've always felt bad, too, for the third Steve Pitt fight, just because, ironically enough, I know it's... the eye poke was... So, I know it's just a bad feeling to go out on that.
Yeah.
But,
to be fair, they traded those pretty heavily.
Yeah.
It's all just eye pokes. Always has been.
That's right. So Chuck Liddell is reffing a celebrity boxing match.
Yeah.
Which is just kind of an interesting tidbit of news.
I don't know who these people are that he's
No idea.
doing, but
Lamar Odom and Aaron Carter.
Wait, I'm pretty sure isn't that the dude who... I think that's the guy who bet all that money on Masvidal.
oh damn.
I'm fairly certain that's him.
I mean, I was just, when I saw the headline for that, I was just like, oh no, Chuck Liddell's
Yeah, that was
I thought that for a second. I was like, please, God.
I was like, he can still get knocked out being the ref, but
I mean, on the other hand of that, do I want to ref with that much CTE? If you can take a few more.
Dude, the bell's gonna go and Chuck Liddell's just gonna sock one of the fighters in the head.
Sorry, man, it's instant.
It's instant.
Ice in my veins. You were the ref. Oh, shit.
just forgets who and what he is. Just sees
Where's Ortiz? Where's Ortiz?
Tears the ring apart. Yeah.
So that should be the old Triller events.
Man,
I hate them.
Jesus Christ.
Triller trying to sue everyone for
Come at me, Triller. I got that one podcast money. I have tens of cents you could come after.
Oh yeah, huge.
I do wish Gregor Gillespie really leaned into the fishing trash talk.
Yeah.
with
That was a
Conor
fun
McGregor.
little thing.
Yeah, that was good. And everyone hopped in it. Nico Price was going in.
Yeah.
I think Bryce Mitchell did.
I will say, Conor McGregor comes in with this shit talking. He has the smallest fish, this 4-pounder.
But sir, it had spikes on it, as he posted.
And Greg Gillespie's like, look at my enormous fish. Now, I don't want to say penis size comparison, but unfortunately, the entire internet has seen Connor's cock how many times?
That's true.
Every way in.
Every way.
Every way, and he's got a semi in every way.
Every time.
I hope it's a semi.
Oh, no. This is the important conversations you get when you come to this podcast. Is Connor at a semi-chub or fully hard?
I feel like you can't be full mast and it's against Floyd.
Or maybe that's what makes it for him. I don't understand why he's so torqued coming in.
I think he just buys everything ridiculously tight. Anytime he's wearing normal clothes, it's just
It's still semi-hard.
I've weighed in wearing my underwear.
That's normal.
Wearing athletic underwear, so it's tight. My dick's not hard.
No, but some people...
It's cold in the room. And
some people do just not... some people, their dick doesn't really get smaller, it just goes
They're
up.
showers and not growers.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe Connor's...
That's his shower size. Also not great.
But it's you can tell it's kind of hard.
Yeah.
He's excited.
There's not much left to the imagination.
No, you can see full head and a bit of shaft.
It's true.
The little mushroom.
Connor he's either circumcised or he rolls it up.
Rolling my foreskin up before the win.
I like to think he gives it a little suit with all his money and stuff.
It's all dressed up.
Yeah.
He's got a tattoo on each ball.
Yes.
The pride of Ireland.
Nugs on
The golden nugs.
Nick Nugs, yeah.
His penis just says the pride of Ireland.
the notorious one.
He's got the one over his gut and then also right above the dick, yeah. I didn't think we'd spend 5 minutes talking about Connor's dick going into this, but here we are.
I think it's a good way to end this off.
Yeah.
We have a couple more things. Rumble got arrested and charged with identity theft.
Which is just weird.
I totally forgot about that.
Very weird.
What? And it was $500 or $1,000 that he spent?
Using someone's identity to get credit cards or something.
No, it was an airline ticket.
It was It was a one-way plane ticket, and he used someone else's. So The one
Did
theory I
Rumble murder
saw
someone?
it was that it was like a prank gone wrong, maybe, or something.
Fair.
But if it was a prank gone wrong, the alleged incident happened in 2019.
Yeah.
So if it was a prank gone wrong, wouldn't he have just like explained it? So I don't know what's up.
Or if it's a really good prank and Rumble was just on the wrong side of it. Yeah, but he used my card. It's fine. It's a prank. We'll come on them after. Yeah, no fucking. He stole my identity. No.
You could still get in trouble for that, man.
You could,
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely.
Rumble in jail.
Scott Coker's about to pay some bail money. He needs Rumble.
Rumble's bail was set at like $500, which is fucking hilarious.
He can't afford it.
Uses the same credit card that he stole.
Like, come on, dude.
Find my way out of jail. Yep. The other thing we have to talk about. Caitlyn Chikugen's Twitter, ladies and gentlemen.
There we go.
On Friday before the fight. I don't know if it's still up, but she was horny posting hard.
Horny liking.
Horny liking. I'm so sorry.
Was that her getting hacked, or was that
I think
her?
it was her getting hacked. I'm sure it was.
Or it's just a brilliant play by her PR
Lots
team.
of black women with large asses.
Well, the
which, you
funny
know,
thing is,
respect
everyone
to
was
her.
like, "Oh, she's liking a lot of like horny posting on like black people's posts or whatever." So I was like, "Okay," I assumed it was just like I don't know, like bikini pictures or something like that. Then I like went to look, and it was like full on like people fucking. Like it was
Yeah,
porn.
yeah.
This was like this was not safe for work. Yeah, this
The
was
reason
hardcore.
why I'm sure it's a hack is because it's pretty much all from the same one account. So, and her coach mentioned that she was hacked, but she rolled with the punches beautifully. She was
yeah.
posting memes. That's the way to take that.
Yeah,
Look,
for
all I'm
sure.
saying is I want Derek Lewis and Chikugen on the
No,
same card.
no.
Just because I want that press conference, because you know Derek Lewis would say something and it'd be so funny.
Yeah.
The like, who likes porn?
I don't like it at all. I love my girlfriend very much. I've never looked at it, and I won't do it again.
It was like, hey, who's posting porn on Twitter?
Apparently a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's happening, but just why?
Not me, definitely.
Hey, who's looking at
Who's looking at that sick, demented
yeah.
stuff?
You're saying it's a lonely evening, you want to dabble in some pornography, you're like, ooh, Twitter. That's what I hit up.
It's like the wild, wild west over
I
there.
suppose.
It's the Wild West. You can find anything you want.
I don't like the implications of that comment.
The face.
Look, well, there's certain things I want, like a Wild Wild West element too. I feel like the porn Wild Wild West is not what you want. Like that's what gets you thrown in jail.
I have to mention this. It's made me so angry. Jessica I is selling her nudes for $7,000 for one photo. One photo. It's insane. That's criminal.
Dude, it is.
That's a bargain.
But someone, no, dude, it's ridiculous. But there's people who might pay it. There's simps. There's simps who might do it.
That is ridiculous.
That's true.
Absolutely insane.
Crazy stuff.
All right, I think we'll end it there.
I think we'll wrap it up, folks.
It's true.
I hope you enjoyed that. But if you didn't, feel free to send us hate mail. We have an email in all of our links. So email us questions. Tell us our dicks are tiny. Whatever you want to do. And we will answer.
May be accurate, may not be. Who can say?
Yeah, you have to find out on another episode
On the next episode.
when we whip our cocks out.
There will be no video. Well, we'll see the three people who listen to this. We'll see you next week.
When it slaps on the table, you'll be able to hear the sound.
Meaty slap.
Dude, that's the game. We all take our cocks out. We all smack them on the table. They have to guess who is the biggest.
Oh, I like
You
that.
can post your bets.
Cock reveal 10,000K.
Interesting.
All right, see you, folks.
Later.